Hello, what's up? We're here, Patron Deck Reviews. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue on with these for now. The next one is a mono red list. What is up, chat? Alright, we are playing. Zoom in for you. Zolto. I've never seen this card as a commander before. 3 red red, 7/3 giant barbarian, trample. Whenever Zolto is dealt damage, venture into the dungeon. Okay. And I see the pyrohemia. I see. Now, is this intended to be a bracket 4 list? I suppose is my question. Because it's bracket 4 just with the Blood Moon. And you only have 2 game changers, so I don't... Let me take a quick peek. At what this user said. You've been working on this list for 2 years. Start with Pingers, developed with no moderate control. WinCon is Zolto with Indestructible and Blazing Sunsteel, so I can ping him infinitely to loop a dungeon. Oh, that's kind of funny. But at least half my wins come from pulling off something silly like Return the Favoring Someone Else's Rise of the Dark Realms. Sure. Deck is really fun to play, but sometimes I feel like it lacks meat. There's nothing flashy the deck can do. I think I just need someone else's thoughts on it. Maybe it's fine, honestly. There's room for tweaks. Okay. Live on Twitch too? Yes, I have live on Twitch as well. Man, immediately I'm like, where is the other Norin? Because I feel like that works in a lot of the same ways. Yo, what up? Gino? Gano? I don't know how to pronounce the E with the hat on it. See you on the purple snake? Oh, sure. Was it Norn Swift Survivalist? No. No, it's Felden. Felden, hang on. Felden. Ronnom Excavator. So Felden's kind of cool. Can't block, haste. Whenever it's dealt damage, you exile that many cards from the top of your library. Choose one of them until your next turn. Until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. So with all of the like pingy things where you ping your commander, like Pyrohemia and stuff, you could just use this for card draw. Which seems really good. I'm kind of surprised it's not in there. It's kind of like a backup use for your commander as well. You can do a bunch of other things with it. In terms of mono red control, here's another interesting card. A smoke is kind of neat. If you're not really attacking or whatever, this is a very good defensive card you could play. I do understand what you mean. It doesn't do anything like crazy because a lot of this is just kind of mono red good stuff. Like it's kind of just like a pile. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. It's kind of how mono red control ends up being sometimes. Is sort of like red dot deck, red value dot deck, I suppose. There's nothing wrong with that. Like if you enjoy playing it, you know. I think I would get rid of power balance. This card is like, whoops. These should be in the sideboard now. if you had $1 for every time you've enjoyed one of my videos, you'd buy the 1 ring. And that means you haven't watched all my shorts. And then you can buy like 6 1 rings. Goblin Sharpshooter? Goblin Sharpshooter is fine. It's like $24. What the hell? Since when? Why? What? I'm gonna look at my Boros control deck and see if there's anything I play that might be good in here. I'm like, you could play Bonehorde Dracossaur. It's like, you know, it's part of the pile, right? Decks like this are very difficult to make changes for, just because it's like everything's just kind of like a good card. It's very tricky. I think power balance sucks if you in casual EDH, just in general. Chef's Kiss is kind of funny. Whenever this is dealt damage, you should put a sacrifice a permanent. That's a cool card. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Dowsing Device. This card's pretty good. You know what else is great for red control decks? Brass's Tunnel Grinder. This card's crazy. When it enters, you get to discard any number of cards and then draw that many +1. So it's card neutral, effectively. And then on your end step, if you descended this turn, you put a boar counter on it. Which, like, you know, you'll kill things, things will ping, you'll loot something with the Wheel of Possibilities or whatever. And then you flip it, and then it's just like a powerful card. Ah, man. Surveyor's Scope is like... You know how fetch lands, which makes this a lot worse. I feel like the missing your land drops to play this card is like so grief. I'm gonna cut it. You want power bounce to be good? So it's great. It's much better in like CEDH where everyone's playing the same mana value of stuff. It's great if you have top deck manipulation and a wide amount of like costs or whatever. But like in casual EDH, you know, people are playing 4 drops and 8 drops and 6 drops and 2 drops and 3 drops, like so many things. Without any top deck manipulation, I feel like this card is just like a nothing card. It's just gonna like reveal the top card of your library occasionally. I would ditch Arcane Signet. Like, who cares? Might as well get something else. Do I play FPS games? I mean, I've played a lot of Overwatch, but I'm playing Marvel Rivals right now. Played a lot of Apex, too. Alright, I think these are my 3-card swaps. I think this is card draw, works with your theme. Versatile Grinder is crazy for red control decks. Smoke is crazy for a deck like this that doesn't really need to attack that much. Paramount sucks. Arcane Signet, you should just play one of your other 2 drops instead. And Surveyor's Scope without fetches is just bad, I think. Next list. No Tarkov? No, I don't play Tarkov. I don't even think I've seen Tarkov. Like, I don't even know what it looks like. Alright, this user says... Demir artifact list looking to dump big creatures into the bin so you can bring them back to burn your opponents with Golbez's ability. Side win objective of burning people out with Mirkwood bats and such. Planning to add the new Tezzeret and Tellurian Academy planet. Don't add the Tellurian Academy planet. That card is really, really bad. Planning, blah, blah. First time building an artifact deck, so looking for some help. Okay, cool. You made a proxy set for that game. I mean, that's cool if you're a big Tarkov head. I don't play that many different games. Golbez is a cool commander. Whenever an artifact enters, you surveil one, which is pretty sweet. And then at the beginning of your end step, if you control 4 more artifacts, you return a creature from your yard to your hand. And then if you control 8 or more artifacts, each opponent loses life equal to that card's made of value or power or whatever. Card's power, yes. Okay. How many artifacts do we have? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. This is one, right? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. This makes one, so I'll say 29. That feels low. 32, did I miss some? Oh, yeah, we have the artifact lands. Yes, my bad. 32. That feels low. I feel like you want more. Let's see what else we have that like makes more artifacts. Like Word of Invention is kind of an artifact. Spell Swindle makes artifacts. At least we makes artifacts. I don't know. I feel like we're not just putting enough artifacts in play. Is it crazy to say that? Academy Manufacturer, and we have say Nuka-Cola vending machine. Currency converter makes treasures. I like where we're going with this. Okay. You have Sensei's top plus Crystal Skull in this deck? What is the Sensei's top for? Other than, like, it's just in general, or? Both are good on their own. Deck goes wild with both of them. Oh, because you're trading the Surveil a lot with the... Oh. Yeah, I guess the top isn't too bad. Top is pretty expensive right now, so I usually don't recommend cards that are more than $10. It's like $30, so I think I do like Crystal Skull. Is that the Surveil one? Even though the top card of any oh, this lets you cast historic spells. Oh, I was thinking of something else. Disciple of Gix tutors 3 artifacts into your graveyard for Golbez's second ability. Disciples of Gix. When it enters your library for up to 3 artifacts, oh, it's a triple entomb for artifacts? That's not a bad card. I don't know if it's necessary for this list, because you really just... Once you have your Shardless Outlander, you're just going to be looping this the whole time, right? You just basic land cycle it, return it, dome everybody for 6, right? Hmm. All right. Let's see if we can get more artifacts in this deck. I want more artifacts, or like things that make artifacts. I feel like we could squeeze more in. Now, like one of the wait, we're not missing that. Okay, we have that. One card that I think is really good is Treasure Vault? Yeah, Treasure Vault is sweet. It's an artifact land, which is great. Comes into play untapped, also great. And then you can sack it to make a ton of treasures, which is really sweet. You also like the artifact creatures that spawn more creatures when they die, like Mere Battlesphere. Yeah, Mere Battlesphere is good. Stuff like that can be pretty great. I like I mean, like Worm Coil is pretty good. I don't know if that's the type of thing we need exactly. KCI is kind of strange in this list. I'm gonna say that. You didn't list it in your description. I don't see any specific KCI combos. Unless I'm, like, really missing something. Not really sure what the KCI does for us here. And it's not like we want to sack all of our artifacts, like, dump into a big spell, because we need a high number of artifacts. So it seems a bit odd. One thing that's really good that I think we're missing is Phyrexian Metamorph. Phyrexian Metamorph is a crazy good card in a list like this. Because it's a clone effect. So, but it's also an artifact. So it lets you make an artifact Sir Conrad, which then increases your artifact count and also is works for the draining plan. This card is just like phenomenal. I like the Crystal Skull suggestion. I think I'm going to leave that in. That seems pretty good. Yeah, what up, Kyoji? Yeah, I want to cut the KC. I feel like this card is like massively threatening, even though it but it doesn't do anything in this list. I want to cut Master of the Bridge. This card is quite bad. It's my third cut. I might just think the Golem's like fine for artifact creatures. There's a lot that has like double blue in the cost. Or like improvise. Like I think it doesn't do as much in this deck as you might think. Why are we playing Refute instead of like Counterspell? Oh, whoops. I accidentally removed it instead of putting it in the maybe board. What's my opinion on black market connections? It's fine. In a list like this, just like going treasure token every turn, lose a life is like actually pretty reasonable. And the fact that you can also do other things with it is nice. Metallic Rebuke to be more on theme. Yeah, but Counterspell's just like a better card. It's fine to have your removal just be like good Magic the Gathering cards, I think. What's this transform into? You cast a permanent spell using mana produced by this. Put up to one target permanent. Comes a copy. What? When you cast a permanent spell using mana produced by this, Up to one other target permanent you control becomes a copy of that spell until end of turn. That is so niche and seems really slow. I know it mills you on the front half, but that's like, eh. I think these are my changes. I think I like these. Moving on. You can't see the deck list because you're working. I mean, that's fair, yeah. I mean, Micah's the Golem is a really good card. I just think it's not particularly good in that list in specific. Okay, description. You want to drain out the table. In the best case, we get good combo with card draw. Get in the mid-game some engines that will drive the game to its end. You run low lands because the mana curve is pretty low. Card draw is good and repeatable. Well, it's, I'll be the judge of that. 3.33? Not that low of a curve. I'm seeing 8 6-drops. We'll see. We'll see. Bolas' Citadel. That's not a card that gets reduced in cost. This doesn't get reduced in cost. This doesn't get reduced in cost. You have an X spell. That doesn't get reduced in cost. I'm looking at a lot of like 6-drops that and X spells that want more mana. Alright. Before I start saying let's add more card draw and lands, let's hit the playtester. Let's just hit the playtester. Let's see. 1-lander. This is unkeepable. We'll mulligan. 3-lander, kinda. Keep this. Draw. Land. Okay. Okay, this curve doesn't feel that low. Smothering Tithe. Now let's say this gets countered or removed instantly. The hell do I do here? Like vaguely, do I Cruel Celebrant path my own Cruel? That seems alright. Let's say that was bad luck. Let's start a new game. Soul Ring opener. No white mana. What do I do here? Okay, it's my Soul Ring. Cool. Okay. What third time's the charm? Third time's the charm. Let's look at this. A billion lands. Can we do something? Okay. Okay. Midnight Reaper, yeah. I guess Bolas' Citadel and Hope. The other trader. Sure, then you cast your whole library because Bolas' Citadel is broken? I don't know. My friend, I do not think your mana base is that good, and I do think you need more lands, and I do think your curve is too high. I know you said the opposite in your description of the deck, but I think all of that is just... I don't know. I just ran it like 3 times, and if the Bolas' Citadel got removed, you just don't get to play the game. I don't know. I think we maybe need some more lands that tap for both colors. Reliquary Tower, 1000%. Get this crap out of here. Holy cow. This should not be in a deck like this. Curse draws. I don't think it was correct. We can run it one more. We can run it like a couple more times. Hang on. How do I? Hello? Can you go back to the deck? I mean, we can run it again, but like I don't think this deck. Okay, this looks good. This looks like an ideal, crazy good hand, right? Like this has to be like the best this deck can do, right? Bitter Blossom. We have Token. Do this, and then you play Midnight Reaper, I guess. right? And then you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on end step. Flash this in. We draw another card. Untap. Right? Like, this is the best the deck can do, right? We're like, boom, and then you sack a thing. They all sack things. You blow up a bunch of stuff. That's like perfect, right? But of 3 games, we got, look at this Reliquary Tower. This is like unkeepable. This is like, alright. Okay. I guess. Like, what do I do here? This is crazy. Am I getting like absurdly unlucky? What is this? Spy Master's Vault over Reliquary Tower would be like a great idea. Maybe he's playing with friendly mulligans and that's crippled objectivity about mana. I mean, I don't know. You could be right. I just don't feel like this deck's curve is that low. Is the other thing. Sort by mana value. Okay. Yeah, 1,000% Reliquary Tower needs to get out of here. And then, yeah, Spy Master's Vault is like a billion times better in this deck. The devotion is so high too. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of like, you know, double, triple pips all over the place here. Like the amount of multicolored cards is actually kind of low. It's like triple black, double white, double white. Like huge 6-drops like this are just not as good as the other 6-drops. I don't know. Open the Grave seems really slow and greedy. I mean, those are like the first 3 things I would cut. I really don't like Anointed Procession because it's very win more, but it's fine. We can leave it for now. Also, your removal package is a little light. You see a Farewell. I think I might want to cut like one of these 5-drops, maybe. Maybe something in the 4? I don't know. Whenever control dies, draw a card. That's so good. It's also so 6 mana. Maybe blot out the sky. Oh, this card's kind of neat. Does it have Ink Shield? No. But this deck doesn't want to hold up its mana. I don't think Ink Shield's very good in this list. Maybe Massacre Worm, honestly. I know it feels weird, like this is a good card, but random aristocrats are not how this deck wins, despite what it looks like. What do you mean? Could you elaborate on that, my friend? I mean, I assume this deck wins by, like, Grave Pacting, sacking, like, random Garbo, and then punching someone with, like, a Vein Ripper or a Kakusho. Okay, I want to add some MDFCs to this list. Witch Enchanter. I want to add. What's the Bajuka Goblin? Oh, it's like Bogart Trawler, right? Bogart Trawler. There aren't a lot of token generators to justify Anointed or Mondrak, are there? You know what? Let's take a look. That would make a 1/1. That makes a 1/1. This makes spawns. So I'll say one real card that actually goes well with those cards. We'll say one real card. I'll say 2. Tasteless actually can use the things. Yeah, this already makes a lot of dudes. It's not that great. Pitiless Plunder, doubling those tokens is good. Although that doesn't double, does it? Yeah, it does. This one's good, so we're at 4 cards that are relevant. And I guess Bitter Blossom, we'll say 5. And then the Planeswalkers, 6, 7. I guess it was Open the Graves, I don't know. Is there a handy list of MDFCs? No, but what you can do is you go to Skyfall. And under criteria, you can say modal double-faced. And then you can pick your color identity. And if you want the ones that are lands on one side, you go land, allow partial type matches, boom. Now you have all of the ones that are lands on one side. Otherwise, you're going to get the ones that are just 2 spells, you know. Couple of pink from Blood Artist early game isn't going to do anything. See 4 or 5 of that effect. You get to a point where you're looping reassembling skeleton and you go infinite fairly easily. Chat might be right. I think Anointed Procession and Mondrak might just be bad. Because, like, yeah, what are we doing with these? We're not copying that many things. I know I suggested cutting Open the Graves, which would have been 1 more card, but, like, eh? Okay. Now, with all this stuff gone, the curve actually has lowered a little bit, right? Let's put in a few 2-drops. Some more like 2-mana cards for like value. Smothering Kites is doubled off of Anointed. You don't need to double the treasures from Smothering Tithe to make it good. This card's plenty playable without Anointed Procession. Trust. You expect the token maker to be like the artifact count. It needs to be like 24. Yeah, I agree. You're right. You're right. We have like 7 things that make tokens. That's like nothing. You know what? I just want to add to this like a Knight's Whisper. Like things in the early game to just like put down and like cantrip through the list a little bit. I mean, hell, Sign and Blood too. Whoops. What else is like a good 2-drop for like an Aristocrats deck? Yeah, this is what you can do with That's what you're saying. Keep in Anointed. Oh, I wasn't saying you just skip the count and the oh. You're right. I did miss it in the count. You're correct. But yeah, I skipped it because it's just like not very relevant. I think because the card's always good, you know. I said, what's like a 2-drop? Was it? Wait, do we not have Carrion Feeder in this list? Plumb the Forbidden. That's not something you can play early game. I meant something you can like play early game. Although Plumb the Forbidden is a good Magic the Gathering card, I will. Oh, Marionette Apprentice. Where's our Marionette Apprentice? Maybe Taste That Makes Clues? That card kind of sucks, doesn't it? Actually, how many sack outlets do we have? Do we need Carrion Feeder, I mean? 1, 2... Yeah, I think we need the sack outlet. Okay, alright, I think these are my changes. We're going to... cut out Tithe Taker. This card seems bad. Unlimited Processions, win more. Mondrak is like win more. Open the Graves, slow, 1 billion mana. Massacre Worm, 1 billion mana. Requiem Angel, also 1,000 mana. Valkyrie Tower, unplayable magic card. And we're going to replace it with Spymaster's Vault, 2 MDFCs. Now, these MDFCs specifically are very good in this deck because they're creatures that you can sacrifice fodder if you want, or they're lands. So you increase your land count without actually losing out on sack fodder. Some cheap cantrips, because I feel like this deck just needs a little bit more card draw. Marionette Apprentice just for like even more draining, because I feel like stacking these effects is how this deck's actually going to function before we go infinite. And then another sack outlet, I think, is relevant. Probably switch back to token producers, unless you want to switch all the smaller animators. I mean, you could do that too, right? You could, if you want, you could put the token doublers back in, swap all the small reanimation guys, like Reassembling Skeleton, Nether Trader, like get that stuff out of there, and then go hard on tokens. That works too. I mean, there's no right or wrong answer here. You can go either way. Smothering Abomination there? I don't think so. The Midnight Reaper kind of does the same thing, but it's better, right? It's 1 less mana. Deck feels unfocused. I mean, yeah, they should lean harder one way or another. Alright, those are my changes for that list, though. Moving on. Next deck. They said... What? Combat calculations fall on the blocker, not me. In this deck, I don't care if my vampires die while attacking. It's a win-win either way. Yep. So long as my commander is on the battlefield, how can I add more resilience to this deck where it still functions even if my commander is removed? I see. So this commander is really cool. When you attack, target attacking vampire that isn't a demon becomes a demon, and then when it dies, you draw a card and make a 4/3 vampire demon with flying, which is cool. So how do we make this deck function without the commander, or make it more resilient? There's a couple ways to go about this. You can either play more things to protect your commander. Imp's Mischief. Imp's Mischief is a card that lets you redirect a spell. So if somebody's like, I'll destroy your commander, you can go, nope, and bounce it towards their thing. Cards like that can help protect your commander, and that adds a little bit of resiliency if you need your commander in play. You are just missing, like, Swiftfoot Boots and stuff, and, like, Lightning Greaves. You know, you can just add these. They're great ways to help with the resiliency of if spot removal's your problem. Otherwise, you know, things that give indestructible or protection for a turn. Sujiri Shelter? Yeah. Sujiri Shelter, target creature gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn, and it's a land on the other side. You can just cut a planes for this. Kaya's Ghost Form, sure, that's a good suggestion. Kaya's ghost form. This one is you enchant a creature or planeswalker you control, and then when it dies or is put into exile, you return to the battlefield. So it's kind of like giving it one time indestructible, but it works in exile too. Gabrielle's dismissal did it autocorrect from Galadriel's? Yeah, Galadriel's dismissal is good. It's also just like really expensive. It's like, yeah, $17 because it's like air quotes reserve list because you know, Universe is Beyond and all that jazz. But yes, this card will also be very good. So that's one way is you can do all of that. You can cut up planes for Serious Step. Just cut some like whatever the crappiest vampire you have, like Patron of the Vein. This is like 1 billion mana. You swap this, because like high cost vampires kind of suck in this deck. Because what you really want are like 1 and 2 mana vampires. Because you want to cast a vampire on turn 2, like Bloodghast, and then cast your commander on 3, so then you can attack with Bloodghast, and then it gains the ability. You want to like curve out in that way, which is another reason why, actually, Arcane Signet and Talisman Hierarchy are perfectly fine cuts here, because what you really just want is like 1 and 2 mana, 1 and 2 mana vampires. Lightning Greaves is bad in a lot of decks, I agree. In this deck, it's like kind of fine. It has a few upsides. You could play Greaves on 2. Turn 3, your commander, equip Greaves. Turn 4, cast a vampire, equip Greaves. Does this say target? It does say target, not Greaves. Swim Boots. It is awkward with Greaves, because if you give your vampire haste, you can't target it with your commander, which actually does kind of suck. Dog Umbra. Yeah, that card's good. Man, maybe Lightning Greaves does kind of suck in this deck. The Shroud actually is really bad. Master of Dark Rites. What is this? Sure, yeah, that's great. That's a great addition, yeah. Alright, with Lightning Greaves, take this card with a grain of salt, because if you equip it to a vampire to give it haste to attack, you can't target it with your commander, which does actually suck, because Shroud sucks. Anyway, one other way is if you also, instead of just protecting your commander more, you can do something with Springleaf Drum and Paradise Mantle. You know what? Actually, yeah, things like Springleaf Drum are like pretty sweet, because you could go turn 1, you know, play this, turn 2, you know, vampire, 1-drop vampire, especially if you're lowering the curve and adding more cheap vampires. That's kind of neat. Yeah, Springleaf Drum could be cool. The other thing is you could just like play like better vampire attacky cards. Like I see you have like Patchwork Banner, but like, and it doesn't have to be this card, but like, you know, Coat of Arms or whatever. You take Coat of Arms, you put it into EDH rack, Coat of Arms. You know, because that card's $20, and then you scroll around and you go, Vanquisher's Banner. That's a typal card, and then you scroll around and you find, oh, Mirror Entity. That's a card that buffs up my vampires, and it's a vampire. And you just add those and just cut some of the higher cost vampires for these things, so you have other ways to win the game outside your commander. Sure, Knight of the Ebon Legion is another great card for this deck. Yeah, lots more of these like 1-drop vampires to like really get your curve down and get going a little bit faster. And you can just cut a few of the like high cost stuff into these 2-mana rocks. Alrighty. we're moving on. How many more decks do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 10:46. All right, let's see if we can get through all these today. That would be sweet. Kara Zakar theme tune. What did this person say? D&D themed casual deck with gold, goblins, and treasures. Are the three main themes balanced and well established? And if not, what would you... Okay, interesting. So, gold, treasures, and goblins are your themes? For the most part, when you just have like a theme deck, and you're like leaning heavy into the theme, I'm not going to comment too much on that, because, I mean, like, who am I to say, you know, Bothersome Quasit sucks? It doesn't. Bothersome Quasit's really good. But if it's like on theme, then it's like fine. I don't want to cut any theme cards. What I do want to then change are the like support cards around it. I think those it would be what I would make changes to. I think Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast in lower brackets are just not very good. You will actually run into pods where there's no blue. And this deck isn't like a looting heavy list, so it's not like you're going to discard these. I think these just rot in your hand, like, a lot. Yeah, and like, I would just play some flexible removal, like feed the swarm over it, perhaps? Something like that. If you're looking for like goofy fun cards, I mean, for goat decks, Bedlam is one of my personal favorites. Creatures can't block. It is a very simple Magic the Gathering card that is very funny. For decks like this as well, I'm always a big Kazul believer. Kazul. It's double A. There, Kazul, Tyrant of the Cliffs. Oh, is it already in here? Did I miss it? I missed it. Never mind. If the like redirect spells, yeah, redirect spells are like pretty fun. Because your commander is a 5/5, this is a great bolt bend. It's a great bolt bend list. You watch Elk streams a lot. You have very different ways of changing lists. Well, you see, there's a right and wrong way to do it. And then Elk does it the wrong way, and I do it the right way. I'm kidding. I don't know. We just have different ways of approaching, like, deck lists or whatever. It's also, like, you know, you gotta kind of get the vibes in some way. Like, this is a bracket 2, this is a theme deck. I gotta think about it differently than I thought about the other list. You know? I would cut Zalfurin Void for, like, I don't know, any land that taps for colors. Yeah. Any land that taps for colors instead of Zalfurin Void would be pretty good. Does it make a ton of creatures? You see a pair of goblins could be good? Maybe. Fire Covenant is like so weird in this list. I don't think we have the life for this. I think I'll cut Fire Covenant as well. I think these are my cuts. Add these 3, cut these 3, and then swap Zalfurin Void for, I don't know, basic swamp, maybe? I think anything would be better than this. Moving on. Yasharn Blink Control by Alice. Okay, wait, did I already do this list? No, I didn't. I don't know why this one looks familiar. Maybe I looked at it earlier. Anyway, this is a blink deck. You want to blink your shard, you get a bunch of lands to your hand, and then you play, like, you know, things that give you extra land drops. And, you know, things that let you play extra lands or whatever, and then you, like, poop out a bunch of lands. I swear I already did this deck. I feel like I'm going crazy. Chat, did I already do this one? But I didn't, like, make any changes here. I swear, I don't know, maybe I'm losing it. Maybe I've seen too many of these these decks. I'm just going crazy. I'm kind of surprised Ephemerate is not in here for a blink deck. Like, Ephemerate plus, just like Eternal Witness. Isn't Henge not? Yeah, no, Great Henge is not a game changer. And you know what? A lot of really powerful cards that a lot of really powerful cards that are not game changers that probably should be. If we take a little peek here, you'll notice there's a lot of cards here that are just like tutors or like kind of like Staxy sort of effects, but a lot of cards like Trouble in Paris, which was a game changer but is no longer, that are just amplifiers that are like, yeah, draw a billion cards, do a billion things. That stuff, totally A-okay. Doesn't matter whatsoever. Just generically powerful. If it's removal, maybe it's a little spooky, it's Cyclonic Rift. But if it just draws you a billion cards, it's fine. Check what's all the green. No, I want Trouble in Paris to be a game changer too. I think cards that just like draw like a comical amount of cards by themselves that are just like designed to be like stupid card draw spells in Commander are like should be game changers. I think Greater Good should be a game changer too. All Glow, that's a great card. I did one very similar, if not the same. I was supposed to say it was in the Deck Doctor stream. Oh wait, did I do this in the Deck Doctor stream? Oh wait, am I crazy? No, I didn't. Am I feel like I'm losing it that I did this one. Yeah, the cards that let you play your deck aren't game changers. Yeah, exactly. Although, yeah. My problem isn't with like card draw inherently. Card draw's great. The problem is with like cards that are like obscene amounts of card draw, like Great Henge. Like, yes, it lets you play your deck and doesn't stop other people from playing their decks, but it lets you play your deck so hard that you stop the table with it. And like I think that's like problematic, but it is not seen that way. Okay. If I've already talked about this deck, I apologize. I'm just talking about it again here, I guess. What is the name of that land that lets you like terrain generator? Yeah, terrain generator. Which month are we doing? This is July. Yeah, this is like July or something. I don't know. I'm very behind. But next month we'll have like 6 decks, I think. So when I actually do the August ones. Sarah's Emissary and Archon of Valor's Reach? Question mark. Are you saying why are they in the deck, or are you adding them to the deck? I need more context. Okay, adding them, I guess, because it's not in here. I don't know what Archon of Valor's Reach does. This thing? Eh? Is terrain generator good? In a deck like this, that is constantly flickering your commander and searching up basic lands, yeah, terrain generator is crazy. This card's gonna ramp you like 100 cards during the course of the game. Add them, yeah, I see. Is it to do 3 streams in there? Yeah, but I have to like make videos. I can't just be streaming. Is the problem? The problem is I have to like actually like work on like the YouTube channel at some point because the streams don't pay any money, but I need to pay rent at some point. Like this is just for like fun and for like patrons' enjoyment. I think it's my ads. What am I cutting? Like I want to say your curve is high, but it's not that high for this type of a deck. Videos never heard of. Yeah, are there people who just watch the streams and then don't watch the videos? Illusion is not necessary in a deck like this. You should just steamroll past your opponents. You don't need to. You don't need to give your team +2/+2. You should just cast your 6/6 and flicker it 100 times. Psychopath as who watches streams only. I mean, like, in theory, there's somebody who likes the stream content but doesn't want to watch like the video essays. I mean, they're very different in terms of their content. Okay, I feel like I did this list already, and I added like a Thalia's Lancers package to the deck with like Felia or something. But I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna cut Thalia's Lancers, and we're gonna play other stuff instead. How is your hours-long video doing? Which one? You mean like the 8-hour one that was like all the shorts combined? That one didn't do very well. Or do you mean like the long one from like last week? The Planeswalker lets you put any amount of lands from your hand down. Is that an alt? If it's an alt, then it's probably just you'll ramp the lands out before that. This card kind of sucks. Cut loot. Okay, I feel like I already talked about this list at some point, but I feel like the Ephemerate Eternal Witness package is crazy and terrain generator's nuts. And then you just shave off some off the top. Is that, I don't know if that's like too crazy to say. I think you can win without these cards. The hour-long vid about UB. Oh, it's doing good. That video did well. I was hoping it would do well. Took him forever to do. Zeno, I have no idea what Planeswalker you are talking about. I'm gonna assume it's a green. Is it this? Oh, put any number of lands from your hand on the battlefield tapped. Oh. Okay, hold up. That is pretty good in this list. You'd be very grateful if you reviewed your deck. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you'd be grateful if I reviewed your deck. Hopefully, I review well. I feel like sometimes I'm off the mark where like I didn't quite understand what the list was like calling for. Far Traveler sucks. I know your commander is like not like a huge threat, but people are gonna board wipe you. This card might just do nothing. Should I put Progenitus in your Terra Magical Adept deck? If it makes you happy. No, Zeno, that's a good call. It's a 0 too. It's not even a -1. That's kind of crazy. All right, I think I've reviewed that list twice, so I'm gonna move on. Retracing My Steps by Jace Bellerin, the real Jace Bellerin. Isn't that cool? Anyway, Jay says, deck built around using the Retrace mechanic. I love Retrace. Every Retrace card in Jund is in the list, including the one playtest card because it's funny, sure. And the rest of the list is engines for land recursion, payoffs, casting outside the hand, blah, blah, blah. Got it. So Retrace is funny. Basically, you can cast the spell if you discard a land. You know? Should the non-forbidden tutors be game changers? What do you mean? Like, just like demonic tutor or whatever? I mean, I don't think any tutor should be a game changer. There's already a few tutors restriction, and tutors are only as good as the card you search up. So, like, you know, if my deck is 98 Swamps Demonic Tutor on my commander, Demonic Tutor's not a very powerful card, is it? And if you tutor a card that is too powerful for your play group, then you shouldn't be playing that card. Cutting the tutor doesn't make any sense. This is a pile. This deck is a pile. I mean, I like it. Immediately, I'm looking for Life from the Loam, right? Where was that card from the mono red list? Is it Tectonic Reformation? Oh. Like Enlightened Tutor, Worldly Tutor? No, I don't think those should be game changers. Yeah, so Tectonic Reformation, really great in this deck. It lets you, like, you know, you could loan back 3 lands and just cycle them to draw a bunch of cards, and then when you draw one of the cards, you, like, get back your loan. It's pretty sweet. It's just really good with this, like, style of deck. Decks like this are hard to evaluate, because, like, Tarmogoyf probably should be cut if you're talking power level, but, like, it's Jund lands, so, like, we're playing Tarmogoyf or whatever, you know? Uh, I think you need. You have a lot of basics. You got a lot of basic lands there, my friend. I think we need some more utility lands. How about Give Sun Given / Intuition being game changers? I feel like those are a little different. Well, they're not like just tutors. They're part of like packages and stuff that lead to much stronger play. I think those could be game changers, although uh, I don't know. If it was up to me, they probably wouldn't be. Summon Titan would go hard. Summon Titan. I don't know what this card does. Mill 5 cards, Yahoo. Return all lands from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Sure. Until end of turn, another target creature you control gains trample. Gets +6/+6 for X the number of lands. That's cool. Sure, yeah, Summon Titan's great. Isn't the Retrace cards utility lands? I mean, yeah, but you can discard a utility land to Retrace. Why not? Why not have the best of both worlds? You could also just like use more like duels. I think. Like Grove of the Burnwells. It costs $10 now. Man, I remember when this was like 50 and then down to 1. It's creeping back up. But Grove of the Burnwillows, like instead of a forest or something, would be really great. Like, you know, more duels like this. Sulfur. Sulfur Springs. I added Sulfur Falls. What's the card I'm thinking of? Springs. Oh, I just can't spell. Okay. Some like Painlands and stuff. I think more things like that. Hello, Piss Fusion. You're a patron. How do you submit your deck? In the in the Discord, there is a channel called Deck Doctor, and then in that there's a thread, and you're gonna submit it through there. How is Splendid Reclamation and Scapeshift on this deck? Yeah, I have no idea. I think Scapeshift's like $50. Yeah, that sucks. Splendid Reclamation. Yep. Piss Fusion? No, it's PSI Fusion. PSI Fusion. Like when you're writing a letter to someone, and then at the end of the letter, you're letting them know that you're fusing with somebody. I think we need more like value for like actually having the cards enter and do stuff. All right. Cuts. Look, I know this is like a goofy theme deck, but like, come on. I'm gonna recommend like a bunch of cuts, and like keep the ones that you think are like your favorites or whatever. But I think a lot of these are kind of doo doo. I'm sorry, Goif is just so bad. It's like a 3/4 for 2. I don't know what Rift Sweeper does in this deck. Okay, I think those are my changes. Didn't realize Scapeshift was $50 now. Yeah, it's crazy. I think those are my changes. I think you swap like a couple basics for like a few more duels. It's a 3-color deck. I think you should just improve your mana base a tad. I know you have some duels in here, but like you got a lot of basics. I like the Summon Titan. That was a great suggestion. Splendid Wreck seems great in this list. Scapeshift, just proxy it. Tectonic Reformation, super good with like Life in the Loam and Retrace stuff. And then cut some of these like jank things, I think. Just so you have more like on theme, like land sacrificey stuff. Alright, we are moving on. Furry Foxman. Furry Foxman says, this is a play big creatures deck, do big things, need to outvalue opponents and take them out. I wanted this deck to be strong, play some heavy hitters. There's no real win con for the deck. Wanted to stay away from infinites, can't seem to close out games. Not sure how to pilot it either. Feel like I can't do much until I get my commander out. This is very interesting because when I played Mr. Foxglove, holy hell, winning games was easy. It's just you did stomp everybody. It was like crazy. Okay, so here's my problem though: is are you trying to play this in bracket 4? Because like, did your Eluge list ever get reviewed? I think so. This one? Yeah, I did it on last week's stream. I made like a bunch of suggestions. I talked about this list for a hot minute. Yeah, I don't remember everything I said, but I did. Yeah, if you go to the VOD on my channel, Zeno, you should find where I talk about this list. It's somewhere in that stream. I think it was the one from last week. So when I played Mr. Foxglove, winning was like the easiest thing in existence. It was like comically easy. Now, in bracket 3, it was very easy to close games. In bracket 4, yeah, this deck sucks butts. Like think of it. Like if you think about like what is bracket 4, right? We're talking about where there's 2-card infinite combos. We're playing like people can mass land destruct. Like, have you seen my bracket 4 list? If you haven't seen my bracket 4 list, take a look here. Here. This deck is crazy. I'm playing, I'm playing like Tectonic Break to blow up everyone's lands and Pox to like destroy everybody's everything, and then I'm just gonna like kill you with my commander super fast, right? Like this is like this is what like bracket 4 lists look like. And if you're just trying to go play my commander, attack, cheat in Kogla, you're gonna get absolutely steamrolled. There's no chance that your like mid-range creature pile will do anything in bracket 4. So here's my recommendation. we're tuning this down to bracket 3. We're cutting a bunch of these game changers, and just playing like a slower mid-range game plan and like a slower mid-range pod. Having Kinnan and Sphinx in there but not wanting to combo is crazy. I mean, like, yeah, I guess kind of. We have Hullbreaker Horror and stuff. You know, if you want this to be a bracket 4 deck, it can be, but you can't be doing the Kona Rescue Beastie plan. It's just not fast enough. You're never going to win any games with that. It's just I think the bracket 4 is too quick for that. So I would trim this down to bracket 3. So how do we do this? Like what are the changes? One, we're gonna ditch Kinnan. Kinnan's great in the command zone. You don't need it in this list. We're gonna ditch Worldly Tutor. You don't want to play combos, then you don't need to search for a specific creature. Just play whatever big creature you have and ride the value off of that. Rift, I would keep. Smothering Tithe, I would keep. Those are good Magic the Gathering cards. Dranith, I think you want to steamroll your opponents with this. I don't think you need to play a stacks piece that doesn't do anything for your game plan. And then, you know, of Consecrated Sphinx, Vorinclex, Jin-Kataxis, pick whichever one you want to keep. I think I would keep Vorinclex because card draw is like pretty easy to come by in these colors. Yeah, card draw is like pretty easy to come by in these colors, so you can just. But this effect is unique. Your bracket 4 Foxglove is one of your scariest lists. So here's the like strange thing about bracket 4 is like bracket 4 is like too wide. I actually think it should be split up a little bit, because I think this deck, which is effectively creature mid-range, but like there's a couple of spooky cards in there, like more than 3 spooky cards, is technically bracket 4, but you know, my like stacks list, which would just nuke anything slower than this or this slow, is also in bracket 4. You know, so. It kind of depends on where you are. And if this person is losing, like they can't close out games, I'm assuming that their bracket 4 is way faster than what this deck can handle. That's my thought. That's my guess. I don't know. I don't have the patron here. So I think we're getting rid of like the non-haste giving ones. Wing Boots kind of sucks. Yeah, bracket 4 is the most confusing bracket by a lot. It is. It really should be split out into 2, like honestly. Anyway, let's get at these cantrips. These don't do anything for you. Freed from the real. What? If you don't want a combo, I don't know what this is in there for. Teferi's Ageless Insight. This card's doo-doo. Okay, cool. All right, we have like a bajillion cuts here. So, now the trick to Mr. Foxglove is you don't just play an unprotected Mr. Foxglove. That's a bad idea. That will not do you any good. What you want to do is play Mr. Foxglove with Counterspell backup, right? We played a win bracket 4 because we left CDH, lean harder into stacks. I mean, yeah, you can. Bracket 4 is really the only place where stacks is like viable. It's like not very good in CDH meta right now. It's not really playable in bracket 3. That's a lot of mana rocks and Simic colors. Yeah. Honestly, I would... Here's what I would do. Man, I know I always say no deck overhauls in this and, like, such. But, like, whatever. I'll do this, like, quickly. Okay, cool. Rampant growth. Nature's lore. Cultivate. Nama's reach. Far seek. Oh, what is that thing? It's like planar genesis? Yeah. And this way there won't be any cards left. Yeah. Is this the August X? No, it's not. It's not. I'm really sorry. I'm trying to finish up all of July here, and then I gotta... What do we have, the 17th? And then I gotta get a video out here. And then ideally, I'll stream multiple... I'll be done with my move on Saturday, and then I can stream multiple days here. You really like the 2-mana ramps of the 1-mana creature? Yeah. What the hell does a 1-mana creature ramp do for me here? It ramps me into a 3-drop, which is not my commander. And do we have any relevant 3s in the deck? Fabro Elder? Question mark. Garrick's Uprising? Question mark. Why would I ever want a creature that just dies to a board wipe? When I could just ramp lands, which are basically indestructible and like a billion times stronger. Is it okay to turn lands into creatures in brackets 3? I mean, yeah, why not? Yeah. It's just better, like in every way. Okay. Now we've done that. Now Mr. Foxglove is like a weird card. Rushing him out early can be really strong, but is very scary to your opponents, so you need protection for that. Now I notice you have a lot of cheap counterspells. This is great, actually. This is exactly what you want. So what you really just want is to like rush to having so would not count as mass land. If you are turning your opponent's lands into creatures and then destroying them, I would say that is mass mana denial, yes. If you were just turning them into creatures and then that's it, and then like attacking or whatever, like, I mean, that's fine, obviously. Now, if you have a thing on board that turns lands into creatures, and someone casts a board wipe into that, that's on them, right? But if your game plan is to destroy everybody's lands, then obviously it is mass land destruction. That's not like there's not like a good way around that. I was losing my train of thought. I don't remember what I was saying or doing. Anyway, would you just want to put more like banned control crap in here, like Dovin's veto? We want to add, Stroke of Midnight. We want to add card advantage, not random cantrips. Stock up is really good. This card's $8. That sucks. Oh, yeah, no. If you're just turning their stuff into, if you're like, your lands are now creatures, I am going to attack, that's like totally fine. But if you're like, I'm going to turn your lands into creatures and then Blasphemous Act, like, obviously that's mass land destruction, you know? Is this the August review? No, sorry, August will probably be next week. I'm really behind, I'm sorry, Rundvelt. Arcane Denial. Arcane Denial is fine in this deck. Because giving your opponents cards is relevant for the commander. I played Arcane Denial in my Foxglove deck. Arcane Denial isn't, like, literally unplayable. It's just not good in a random deck that doesn't care about manipulating the amount of cards in your opponent's hand. Whereas, like, Foxglove actually wants to cast counterspells, but you don't need your opponent to be empty-handed all the time. Having one opponent with a lot of cards so you can refuel is actually relevant. Speaking of which, Secret Rendezvous is also another card that is really bad in random decks, but very good in Foxglove. What is this, Commander? I've never seen Foxglove before. You get a free sneak attack for having more cards in your hand than your opponent in Bant. Yes. Mr. Foxglove is a comically busted magic card. I played this as my commander, and I took it apart because it was too strong. Okay. I'm not going to do a full deck overhaul because I'm running out of time. But for the rest of your list, like, just play, like, more removal, more card draw, and, like, a bunch of mid-range threats. And feel free to DM me on Discord if you're, like, confused about what I mean by any of this, because I know this is, like, I'm going back and forth, and I have a lot of, like, random thoughts about your deck. But yeah, like, you want just more, like Oracle of Moldiah type stuff. Like, 4 mana, like, rando things, so you can get to the 6 mana point where you can cast Foxglove, hold up Stubborn Denial, or Swansong or whatever, and then, like, untap and, like, cheat things into play. What's the difference between Sanguine Bond and Exquisite Blood combo? A smart... what? Approach to the Second Sun in equivalent... I don't understand your question. Can you rephrase it? I'm a little confused. You didn't see if they had, you were just trying to shitpost. Oh, thanks, Foxel. Are gift cards good? Oh, yeah. I really like, ooh, what's the Long Rivers pull? Yeah, I love this one. Because you can counter a spell, and then you get to give a person a card to, like, manipulate, and then if they have even more cards than you, you can Foxglove attack them to, like, draw a ton. It's really sweet. I gotta move on, because I'm already behind as is. Okay. Agatha Forger Control. This is a toolbox tutor deck using both Sunforger and Rocco. Very cool. The idea is to police the board for a while, slowly build up to one of its activated combo wins. Typically, Agatha the Vile, Soul Cauldron, Silesian Guildmaster. Okay. Silesian Guildmage. Okay. You found this deck is a little slow, so unfortunately it doesn't get online until it's turn 6. And usually somebody else has already popped off. Look, if you're a control slow toolbox deck, you're going to have to deal with other people popping off before you. That's it. That's how, it happens, right? There is no difference between a fair combo, a card that says I win the game, or wiping the board and being able to win. I mean, yes. Yes, I agree. I mean, I've made a lot of videos about, like, combo or whatever, and if you, like, this deck plays some jank combos or whatever, and it's probably very fine because it involves like 100 pieces. There's no difference between that. No, I agree. Oh, Math Blitz, yo, what's up? You can give answers in real time. Perfect. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. Yes, if it takes you a little bit of time, to set up, that's fine. Let's just lean a little bit heavier into the control plan so you can deal with the players who've popped off. That's my idea with this. Now that you're done with the Rakdos, you want to try Bant Commander to use the rest of the codes and have them speak to me? Yeah, all the Bant Commanders kind of suck. Sorry, this is going to be a little bit of a side tangent. These are all, like, really boring. I have wanted to build a Bant Commander for, like, a long time, and every single Bant Commander is just, like, an absolute snooze fest. Like, none of these are interesting to me. It kind of sucks. This one is the only one that I think is kind of fascinating, and I tried building it, and I just couldn't make it work. I don't know. Rico's like, okay, but I don't know. I feel like all of these kind of suck. There's no... Here's my little, at the end of my rant here. Blue-white Azorius is a spell slinger color combination, right? It is a instant sorcery spell slinger deck. There is not a, like, spell slinger banned commander, even though that is one of the core tenets of the two colors. They're all creature piles. The green part of them has sucked up everything. I want a deck that is Azorius splashing green, but everything is mono green splashing the other two colors. And I think that's really lame. Okay, if I keep talking shit about Bumbleflower, I'm not gonna be in Atlanta, so you can't fight me there. I mean, Bumbleflower's fine. I don't know. It's pretty boring. the card has two directions. You either play legit, like, no win con group hug, which is like one of the worst decks ever, or you play group hug in air quotes, and then you just like attack people and you like punish bad decks that can't take advantage of getting free cards. And that is it. Those are the only two things that happen with Bumbleflower. It is so uninteresting. This is not a fun this is not a fun card. It's either unplayably bad or like pub stomping. Same for Sultai. Yes, there's no good Sultai commanders. Oh my goodness, yeah. Agreed. Alright. Enough side tangents. Let's talk about this deck. Okay, I'm evaluating your Sunforger package right now, okay? Final Showdown, terrible. Boros Charm, very good. Dawn Charm, okay. Dawn's Truce, redundant perhaps. Eladamri's Call, cool. Get Lost, great. Gruul Charm, sure. Seems kind of bad. I'm gonna put this here. Parting Guts, I'm gonna put this here too. We already have Dawn's Charm. Thraven Charm, good. Untimely, good. Calling Professional, great. Chaos Warp, Congregation of Dawn, Big Score, Lapse of Certainty. Yep, Naya Charm. Okay. All right. We're missing some of my favorites. Final Showdown is a Sunforgeable board wipe. Are you allowed to pay these? I thought Sunforger didn't let you pay additional costs. Am I wrong? Use Sunforger and spree cards. You don't pay its mana cost, you still pay additional costs. Oh. Storm and Calamax are Spellslinger commanders in. Yeah, but they're in Temur. They're not in bands. Yeah. Ooh, okay. I actually didn't know that. Alright, sweet. Cool. I mean, I wasn't going to say to cut this card because Final Showdown's like broken anyway. But that's pretty sweet. Cloud's Limit Break. Oh, yeah, that would work too, right? Yeah, one instance to be board wipe is probably enough. So what I want to suggest is Wheel of Sun and Moon. Wheel of Sun and Moon is one of my favorite cards for Naya Sunforger. If a card would be put into Enchanted player's graveyard from anywhere, it goes to the bottom of their library instead. You could put this on like an Aristocrats player and they just lose the game because their stuff doesn't go to the graveyard. But you can also put it on yourself. And then what happens is you can go Boros Charm to give yourself indestructible. And then next turn, you can Boros Charm again. You can Boros Charm every turn. You can, you can Congregation Dawn as many times as you want. Because you don't actually, your toolbox becomes infinite with this card. Which is really, really sweet. Shall I add an enchantment tutor package? Oh, baby. Oh, we're right there. So, this is bracket 3, right? What are our game changers? Wait, we have no game changers. Why does this say bracket 3? You have 10 non-land to... Oh, that doesn't count. Who cares? So So Enlightened Tutor is the correct. That's so much better than your janky recursion. Yeah, it is. So Enlightened Tutor is the quote unquote best option for this because you can Sunforger. So Enlightened Tutor grabs Sunforger, which is great, but also you can Sunforger for Enlightened Tutor, which grabs Wheel, and then you can play Wheel, which is pretty sweet. You keep the Grand Changer list as a ban list. Okay, that's fine. You can play, I don't know, Idyllic Tutor if you really wanted, I guess. But it's not an instant. That's the problem. So here's another thing. I've talked about this with other Sunforger decks on stream, but if you play oh crap, what is the card? Instant. No. Indestructible is red white. This so what I did in my Sunforger list as a combo was I played Chance for Glory and Angel's Grace. So Angel's Grace is already a fun Sunforger target anyway, but what you can do is if you have Wheel of Sun and Moon, you can then go Chance for Glory, take an extra turn, it goes to the bottom of the deck, Angel's Grace off of Sunforger so you don't lose the next turn, and then you can just, as long as you can unequip and re-equip Sunforger twice, you can just take infinite turns with Angel's Grace and Chance for Glory. You don't have to add this, but this is just, with Wheel of Sun and Moon, it's like a different Sunforger combo. I just think it's kind of neat. Just putting that one out there for you. Another card. Now, of course, this is also not a bracket 2 thing, but I did play Boyle in my list, which was crazy, because I had a lot of mono blue control decks that I tried to beat. It is an instant. It is funny. Anyway, that's all like tangential stuff. I want to look at the list a little bit more. All right, Master Warcraft. This card is actually pretty bad. People have suggested this. I was a little wary of infinite turn win con for the deck, but I'm noticing there's only 2 combo wins, so this would be interesting. It's also like a multiple card combo. Yeah, it takes a lot of pieces. I don't know, it's kind of neat. Master Warcraft. All right, here's the problem with Master Warcraft. So you cast it only before attackers are declared, sure, whatever. You choose which creatures attack, and you choose which creatures block. This card does not say you choose who gets attacked. So the problem with Master Warcraft is if they have a huge creature and they're going to attack you, this doesn't stop that. But if they have a huge creature and they're not going to attack you, I guess you can like make it unblockable vaguely. It's just it's not as good as, in my opinion. This card always falls apart for me. Chance for Glory plus Angel's Grace. Yeah, it's a goofy combo. It's a very silly combo. I would cut Master Warcraft. Okay. Is that true? I saw conflicting stuff on Reddit. No, that is definitely true. Master Warcraft. Is that in the rules? Yeah, you choose attackers and make block assignments regardless of whether it's your turn or regardless of whether those creatures are attacking you. Your choices must be legal within the normal rules of attacking or blocking. You can decide that a creature won't block. But it does say regardless of whether they're attacking you, but it has to be illegal. So it's not like if they're attacking you, you can't have someone else's thing block it. But yeah, if the defending player puts blah blah blah. Yeah, here we go. If the defending player controls a planeswalker, the person who casts Master Warcraft first chooses the complete group of creatures that are going to attack. Then, for each of those creatures, the active player chooses who or what it's going to attack. So yeah, you can't force it into planeswalkers, you can't force it into opponents. Yes, somebody in chat already hit me with it. Take the Bait is Master Warcraft, but like a billion times better. This card is crazy. That blows so hard. Yes, look, Math Blitz, I was literally in the same exact position as you when I cast Master Warcraft, and somebody says, I can still attack you, buddy. And I went, oh no, and then I lost. Take the Bait is you can cast this only during an opponent's turn during combat. You prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to you and planeswalkers you control. Then you untap all attacking creatures and goad them. After this phase, there's an initial combat phase. This is the better Master Warcraft. Here's the awesome thing about this card, is it's so much better than a fog. Not only is this a fog, if they attack you, you go, I'll take no damage, and then I'm going to have you attack someone else. It's like a super fog because of that. But you can use this politically. You can say, hey, buddy, if you attack little Timmy over there, I'll give you an extra combat phase. If you have like attack triggers, so you have them attack you with something that triggers when it attacks, and then you can have it go again. You were using Master Warcraft as a janky board clear, yeah. Yeah, it's not now you could is it Death Battle or is it Battle to the Death? What's the card I'm thinking of? Fight to the Death? In tandem with Fight to the Death, it's like not too bad, but it's still kind of Mandate of Peace. Mandate of Peace is pretty good. I mean, we already have Dawn's Charm, which has other utilities, so I don't know if we need Mandate of Peace, but it is good. You can't have them attack to me twice? Untap all attacking creatures and go... Oh, yeah, it's not even attack creatures you attack. Yeah. Totally, sorry. You're right, Macewit. It doesn't even have to be attackers. It's just you can give them 2 combat steps to kill little Timmy. I feel like I've lost the plot on like what you wanted with this deck. I just really like Sunforger, so I got excited. Yeah, anyway, was any of that helpful, Math Blitz? I don't even know what I was saying. I've like completely lost my train of thought. I'm tired. I haven't had enough caffeine yet. I think this is a cool deck, and if you find that you're falling behind early game before you have time to set up your wombo combo stuff, which by the way, I noticed you're not running Temur Sabertooth. Oh, this card's very good with Rocco. Fun Soldier for herself helped? Okay. Let me talk about Temur Sabertooth real quick. It's really good with Rocco. So you get to bounce a creature to your hand to give it indestructible, so you just bounce Rocco and then use him as a tutor over and over again, which is like really sweet. With Dockside Extortionist, this was a crazy CEDH deck, but now the Dockside's banned. This is not a CEDH deck anymore. I would definitely cut Tomb Trawler for your Wheel of Sun and Moon. Yeah, otherwise, I don't know. You could just like mix up the package. I feel like I gave some options, so hopefully that all helped. Or to add in Hate Bears as the next upgrade to help with the struggles. Okay, so that's what you can do is you can play Spirit of the Labyrinth as a way to slow players down, because you don't need to draw into their spells to cast them, because you're just going to tutor them off a Sunforger. So Sunforger is virtual card advantage without real card advantage. So cards like Spirit of the Labyrinth that punishes card draw could work. Rocco is still a CDH deck. I mean, yeah, it's not as good. I wouldn't like expect to see it at a top table these days. I don't see any of the cards that shuffle graveyard into the library. I mean, we got Wheel of Sun and Moon, baby. Also, hi, hello. Alright, I'm gonna move on. Sorry, I don't want to spend too much time on this list, but your list is very cool. I really liked it. Land Go Control. Did I already make... No, I didn't make changes to this. Alright. This is just their maybe board, which I'm going to get rid of. Hull Breacher is not legal in Commander. Okay, I'm going to look at this. What the heck this person said. Okay, my first attempt at a control deck in any format feels like the deck lacks focus. Instead of always having an answer, it feels like it's durdling with a bunch of small instances that don't have significant impact. Ah, yes. That's fine, thanks for the feedback. Alright, I hope that helped, MathWoods. Okay, so, yeah, this is a classic control problem, where what you're doing is you're playing a bunch of cantrips, and here's the thing is, cantrips are great with this commander, because they become 2-for-1s, and they're actually real card advantage. Okay, hang on. Just because... Alright, we're gonna go Rocco, Cowardly Caretaker. We got one. This is a big one. This is a first place. This is from April, and then what? September 2024, and then like a small CDH thing. I mean, like, there's a couple of good finishes. These are top placements. If I go to last 3 months, we got like one first place finish. It's a fine deck. I don't know. It's not. It's just like the conversion rate's not that good. 24% is not bad. It's a low. Like, I'm not saying you can't play it. It's just like I wouldn't expect it at a top table. There are people that can like pop off with like niche decks, but it's not like a common meta CDH list. Especially post Dockside ban. Like pre-Dockside ban has showed up a lot more. Yeah, so this deck is a pile. And this is sort of what happens when... So sometimes you say to yourself, I want to build a control deck. I want to build an aggro deck. And you do that, but you don't pick a sub-theme, and then it feels unfocused. And I feel like that's what happened here, is you said, I'm going to build a control deck. Nimrus is a control commander. I will play removal. I will draw the cards. That is the deck. Now, to solve this, I would just, like, pick some sort of sub-theme, right? Yes, Bijan, I would say that is fair play. That's fair, it's not meta. Yeah, I play Jason Friends Prodigy, it's not meta either. And sometimes I win CDH games, but it's like, it's not like a meta deck or anything. So, you build these like, control piles, but you have no sub-theme, so because of that, it doesn't feel focused, it doesn't feel like you're working towards anything, because there's no... Yeah, it's a good stuff deck. There's no, like, goal to reach other than winning the game. And if that bores you, then you should add a sub-theme. I cannot pick a sub-theme for you, because you should pick something that you find fun. You can add clones, you can add Leviathans, I don't know, Reanimators, something to do. Maybe I should just use Reanimator as an example. Reanimate. You can just add, like, your Dance of the Dead. Animate. These are examples cards. I guess it doesn't have to literally... Dance of the Dead's kind of expensive. But, add, like, a couple of reanimation spells. And, Sire of Stagnation or whatever. Add your, like, fatties. And then you have, like, a game plan you're working towards. You're not just randomly countering spells and drawing cards. You're actually, like, building towards your reanimation game plan. For being Demir, there's, like, 7 black cards in here. I mean, yeah. That's fine. You could be, like, mono blue splash of color. In a 2-color deck, it's not that bad. So I would say, like, pick something like that, maybe. The other thing is you don't want to like lean too heavy on just like pile of cantrips plus like Nimrus. You do want some like more card draw, like things that just create card advantage, like Into the Story, dig through, time, treasure, cruise. You can have a spell sling or something. You can be like Sphinx, bone wand. Sphinx bone wand. You know, Sphinx bone wand. You can play stuff like this to be a spell slinger deck. You know, pick some sort of like sub theme. Add a little bit more like card advantage stuff, more Into the Story, more treasure cruises. You know, more dig through time type effects, and you know, or even just have like more impactful spells. You know, like a reach the multiverse. You know, just something you can like do that has like more oomph to it, and then your deck will feel like it does more. Necromancy is the play with Nimrus because it can be flashed in for sure. Oh yeah. Necromancy is pretty sweet with Nimrus. That's what I would say. And then I would just honestly, I would cut some of the the 2-mana like cantrippy things. You know, cause I think you just want more like real card advantage. And you can cut a couple of these just because like, you know, you're holding up 2 mana. You want to cast a counter spell. You don't want to be casting Impulse. You know. Cremate's kind of funny. You could even like just like go down on like rocks. I don't think you need this ramp that much. Fairies can be solid Demir control set. Yeah, you can just play fairies. You can play your spell stutter sprites. You know, stuff like this are like great control pieces. Yeah, whatever, Ruby Storm. Yeah, so I would say pick a sub theme. Like, if you find this deck is like just you don't know what you're doing, it's because you just built a control pile with no like cohesive thought in terms of like what your game plan is, which is fine. You can build good stuff decks, but if you're not having fun with it, you should add some sub themes so you're doing something. Okay. Last list for July, and then next week I'll get to August. And then we'll do the Deck Doctor, which is the new system. Braids, Arisen Nightmare. Let's see what this user had to say about their list. They said, you're trying to make a dominant discard bracket 4 list. Trying to compete at most tables. Feels slow at times, not sure what to do. Change the win con. Ooh, okay. This is exciting. Okay, a bracket 4 high power list? This is sweet. Okay. Okay, cool. Very cool. I'm interested in this. I don't get to like, oh, Lethal Vapors is in here, Tainted Aether's in here. Golly. Desertion, Bottomless Pit. Oh, this is sweet. Don't pick Braids. Oh, you think that this commander should be swapped? Honestly, not a terrible idea, because I actually think you're missing one of the best discard commanders. At least should be in the 99 of the deck. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent discards a card, you draw a card and lose a life. So good. And then it also is a win con. This doesn't even tap. You could just dump mana into it off of like your Cabal coffers. This card is ridiculous. It's a 2-drop. Going Tiny Bones on 2 into Bottomless Pit and then just drawing like 3 cards a turn cycle is so ridiculous. Play Turgid, in your opinion, only way to play discard? You can play Turgid. Here's the thing about Turgid. Is in bracket 4, people are actually, if they're not playing removal, they shouldn't be playing bracket 4, and you're going to win anyway. If otherwise, they're playing removal, and Turgid's going to get obliterated. Tiny Bones is a 2-drop. This card is so brutal when you go 2-drop into 3-mana thing that causes people to discard. It's really good. It's really good. Yeah, I had a friend of mine who built this when this card came out, and my goodness, is this one of the most brutal commanders to play against. Tiny Bones is ridiculously strong. This is cool. I'm liking this list. I do think Brains is good, though. It's like not a bad commander. This is combination for play that player each player discards a card. Oh, interesting. Playcrafter, Oppo Agent, Cunning Lithomancer, Torok, Burglar Rap. Defense Grid, Arcane Signet, Lotus Petal. Arcane Signet's a little awkward on the curve here. Our curve is pretty low. It doesn't ramp us into our commander any faster. I don't know if we want Arcane Signet. What is our... I almost read this as Aerial Flow, my goodness. Each opponent discards 2 cards. If you control a vampire, each opponent loses life, you gain life. Okay. Mind Swords. If you control Swamp, you may cast this for free? Whoa. You just have to sack a creature. That's kind of neat. Alharmat's Archive, I think this is going to be super win more. Oh, I assume you have... Wait, we're playing Helm of Obedience, but no... Oh, where's our Leyline of the Void? So Leyline of the Void, with Helm of Obedience, will just exile a player's entire library. Just boop, deletes their whole deck. It's pretty good. It is a 2-card combo, and you can put this into play on turn 0. It's quite strong. Would recommend for bracket 4. Interesting not to see Geth's Grimoire. Yeah, I kind of want a little bit more card draw. I feel like Geth's Grimoire is kind of like the card draw that you want over Archive here. We have Chain of Smog plus Professor Onyx combo. That's good. I'm not sure how good Bloodletter of Aclazotz is here. I feel like we're at the point where we're just like draining them. Like, well, when you make them discard all their cards, they should lose pretty quick. I don't think Bloodletter is that necessary. I think those are my swaps. I think these are my switches. Normal Aclazotz is better than his minion. He has 5 mana, which is a lot. But he is good, isn't he? Aclazotz is really good. Such a great beater. And the fact that he dies and just ramps you is like really nice. What else would I cut though? I don't think you need Thorn of Amethyst. Here's the thing about Thorn of Amethyst is you're mostly a sorcery enchantment instant deck. You're not like a creature focus list. So you don't break parity with this very much. And you're making them discard, so in theory they shouldn't be casting anything. I think this might be my changes. I think these are my changes. I like this list a lot. I'm really interested. Oh, I kind of want to play against it. Okay. July, done. Alright. Next week, I should be able to do all of August, because there's way less. And then, I'm like, gonna be pretty done with the old system, and we'll be doing the new one, which is the Deck Doctor streams. If you want to be in this, check the Patreon out. The Deck Doctor streams is how these are going to be going forward. This is just the old system. I'm doing a backlog. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to go eat some food, and then I'm going to work on a video. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Yeah. Patrons, if you have any questions about your deck, just, like, ping me on Discord.